but we lost communication when I knew something, and I'm speaking from my perspective here, and you have a different one on how I might have been behaving as well. But I knew something was up, and you wouldn't tell me what it was.
I think for me, I don't like spending days not talking to you or being in the same room with you and there being silence. It throws me. It's not something I'm used to, and it scares me.
You won't believe that Amy Robach and TJ Holmes might be heading for a breakup after all the drama they caused, even losing their spouses and jobs because of their affair. Honestly, no one was really rooting for them to last this long, since people always say the way you get someone is the same way you lose them. But did anyone expect them to run into problems this quickly? Rumors are now circulating that the stress of finding new work and adjusting to their new relationship dynamic has created serious tension between them. And it gets even more shocking because as soon as things started going downhill, there are claims that TJ may have been unfaithful to Amy. The truth is, many people don't feel sorry for her at all, as they believe this situation is simply karma catching up with them.
But Amy don't realize, as much as he might have been cheating and creeping on Marley Fiebig, that was always who he went back to. Every woman he's dated while married or cheated on Marley Fiebig looks like a copy of Marley Fiebig. Safe to say, he likes caramel girls with silky hair. Safe to say, Amy Robach does not fit the description, not even the silky hair part.
All right, here is a bit of background. The two of them reportedly began their affair while they were preparing for the New York City Marathon together. At the time, however, they both denied any romantic involvement because of how it would appear publicly and the negative attention it could bring. Both Amy and TJ were married, and they had worked together for many years, building a close bond that extended beyond the workplace, as even their spouses had become friends over time.
Wow, it's a love story like none other you're about to hear about, folks. This is the part of the show. Really, we joke, we laugh, we're having a good time here, but these are absolutely two of my favorite people on the planet. So, of course, you all know Amy Robach and her husband here, Andrew Shue, is a dear, dear friend as well.
But as soon as photos surfaced of the two of them holding hands during a trip, everything was exposed, and nothing has been the same for either of them since. According to sources close to the situation, they did not expect to lose their jobs on Good Morning America. When that happened, both Amy and TJ felt the decision was unfair and initially considered hiring a team of lawyers to challenge it, but they later chose to step back, believing that taking legal action would only make the situation worse.
And this is very important, we were outed.
We were outed.
We were outed.
We were not caught.
By a publication that outed us. And so, to be clear, we were outed as being in a relationship, but everyone else thought we were being outed as adulterers, being outed as cheating on our spouses, and it wasn't the case, because the odd thing is that the day those pictures were taken and the day that article was released that outed us, we had both at that point were in divorce proceedings.
Yes, we had attorneys, mediators. We were in the middle of divorces. I believe the first day the first picture was taken, unbeknownst to us, was November 10th. And my ex had already moved out of the house 3 months earlier.
The thing is, Amy and TJ truly believed that because of all the publicity surrounding their affair, they would have no trouble finding new jobs or even turning their story into a show of their own. A source revealed that the pair, who were going through divorces after their relationship became public, had been in Los Angeles pitching themselves and their relationship to major networks, including CBS, NBC, and CNN.
But I feel the pressure of our careers that I believe were unfairly taken from us. And I really want to be able to do what I love, and I want to be able to do it with you.
To be fair, both Amy and TJ were very good at their jobs, and he had a strong resume. But they failed to realize that their affair had made them appear too controversial for potential employers, ultimately making them a risk for any network. An insider shared that the two had convinced themselves they were like Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, expecting offers to come pouring in, but so far, All their meetings with executives have led nowhere. Not even Dancing with the Stars has shown interest in bringing them on. The only project they have managed to do together is their podcast, but aside from the first episode, it has not performed well and is nowhere near generating the kind of income they were used to. What makes the situation even more surprising is that the things they have shared about their relationship on the podcast raise serious concerns, leaving people questioning why they got together in the first place and why they are still together. In one episode, TJ admitted that when he gets upset, he tends to shut Amy out and emotionally withdraw from the relationship. Amy, on the other hand, explained how much that behavior hurts her, as she prefers to communicate and resolve issues rather than go days without speaking. She also shared that their communication became increasingly strained after they both lost their jobs and were trying to figure out their next steps. At times, TJ would become so distant that they would sit in silence without saying a word, which made her feel disconnected from him. Amy even revealed that one night she had to ask him to leave her bed because he was watching television too loudly, and sources say they are still dealing with several ongoing issues in their relationship.
We lost communication when I knew something, and I'm speaking from my perspective here, and you have a different one on how I might have been behaving as well. But I knew something was up, and you wouldn't tell me what it was.
I think for me, I don't like spending days not talking to you or being in the same room with you and there being silence. It throws me. It's not something I'm used to, and it scares me.
But if what we are hearing now is true, it was not just the stress of finding new work that created distance between TJ and Amy. There are now claims that TJ's attention has started to wander again, with insiders suggesting that he may be using work as an excuse to hide what he is really doing. While Amy and TJ's relationship became public, she was not the only workplace romance he had while he was married. Reports suggest that before getting involved with Amy, TJ had been involved with several interns and new employees, and even after making things official with Amy, he continued to keep those connections around the office. One of the alleged relationships was with Jasmine Pettaway, a script coordinator at Good Morning America, who was said to be new to the industry and eager to prove herself. According to sources, she reached out to senior colleagues for guidance, and TJ stepped in as a mentor, often spending time with her over drinks and lunches while discussing work. The situation reportedly became complicated when the relationship crossed professional boundaries, leaving her unsure of how to handle it. This was said to have taken place in 2015 when TJ was working as a correspondent, and it was not the only instance of this kind of behavior. There are also claims that he was involved with a producer while he was still married and already seeing Amy, despite that producer being close to Amy, much like Amy had been close to his ex-wife. As more details surfaced, Amy reportedly felt overwhelmed by the extent of his past workplace relationships and began to feel like she had been caught up in a pattern of behavior. Even so, she seemed to believe that once their relationship became public and the pressure increased, TJ would be more committed to her than he had been in the past. However, many observers have questioned that expectation, arguing that patterns like these rarely change quickly. Critics have also pointed out how much Amy risked, personally and professionally, raising doubts about whether the relationship was worth the consequences. From the beginning, many believed the relationship would struggle to last due to how it started, involving two married people and affecting others around them. Now, some see the current situation as a natural outcome of those choices, though opinions remain divided. What do you think about all of this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.